Hello and welcome to our final presentation on the major project of data evaluation. Our group members consist of Abhilash, Shia, and I, Mary Sonia. Firstly, let's take a look at the background of the study. Project Information Literacy, PIL, is a scholarly research study which is funded by an association called ACRL. It released a 20-item questionnaire to understand the news engagement habits of young adults. The questionnaire was sent to 17 institutions in the USA, which constituted of colleges, universities, and high schools. The objectives of the study includes understanding how the young adults seek and update on news. Moreover, the goal of the study includes finding out the sources of their study and the topics of news interest among the young adults. The methodology opted by PIL for the study was survey. A 20-item survey questionnaire was created and released. The survey revolved around three major research guiding questions, which are as follows. How do students conceptualize what constitutes news and how do they keep up, if they can? Secondly, how do students interact with and experience news when using social media networks? Thirdly, how do students determine the currency, authority, and credibility of news content they encounter from both traditional and new media sources? Before analyzing the data cleaning was done. In order to do the data cleaning, descriptive responses were deleted, then responses that were mostly incomplete were removed, few columns which were blank were removed, checked for missing values and removed the outliners, and also the data was validated using reliability test. From the given data, we studied the demographics. It was found that 34% of the respondents were male, whereas 66% were female. Since the target audience were young adults, 60% of them were students who were aged between 18 to 20. Now let's take a look into the data analysis. From the data, it is obvious that majority of the respondents were enrolled as college students. From further analyzing the school data, we come across that majority of the respondents were first year and second year college students. The major subject of study was arts and humanities, whereas the least study major respondents were from the background of mathematics. The political views of the respondents were analyzed as 35% liberal, 26% moderate, 15% very liberal, 11% liberal, and 2% very conservative. When asked, the students showed comparatively higher confidence in being able to recognize fake news. When asked an opinion about how authentic the news was and the factuality of it, most of them opinionated that the news spread on social media is factual. When asked if the news they come across is useful or not, most of the students agree that the news is useful, whereas some of them disagree.
Moving to the conclusion, we all know that the youth people they more like using the social media rather than the printed media. So it is also evident that from the survey data, the most of the respondents prefer to read the news from the social media. For example, Facebook, Twitter. So they rarely use the printed media or radio or television, podcast, etc. The percentage of respondents heavily skewed towards the female and belongs to the demographic cluster of 21 to 25. Traffic and weather, um, national politics are the interesting news topic for the youth. Among the adults, the New York Times is the most preferred newspaper for getting news about the US national government and its policies. One of the interesting factors I have noticed, above the 50% of the respondents love to share or retweet almost all the news. They love to share what are the information they have get through to the others. The adults share the news to define their online presence. They share the news because of like just to define their online presence or share the information with others or entertain themselves or others. Most of the respondents evaluate the quality and the reliability of the news before the sharing. A very good thing that they are evaluating the quality of the news before the sharing instead of sharing the um, like fake news. They understand it by checking who posted it or the origin of the news or the news like just reading the comments of the news. The respondents feel that the news information is that useful to their life. An interesting factor is that the students love to discuss the and or share whatever they have read in the news, whatever they have read or they understand to their peer groups. These are a few recommendations. Firstly, they have to be more focused towards the printed media. Even though the adults like the social media or the digital media to read the news, it is advisable to include the newspaper or library resources. Don't avoid the health and the lifestyle news. It is noticed that the downward trend towards the reading news regarding the health and the lifestyle, which is an important part of the life, especially to the young population. It is very important for the young population to read news regarding the health and lifestyle and make the changes according to that like get the good information and they can use it in their life. The other recommendation is increase the use of academic social media instead of only using the personal social media. There is a valuable knowledge to be gained through the social media and it is very advisable to use for the educational purpose such as the analytics insights on various topics of issues for the study purpose other than the personal use. Social media is also the medium where the students can establish the beneficial connection for their career. As an education institution, it's crucial to activate in a social platform possible. It helps to create better student training strategies and shape the student's life. Finally, they have to more conscious about the fake news. Like fake news or counterfeit information reported in the newspaper, news periodical, or newscasts may create the detrimental consequences. In order to check the reliability of news, it is recommended that the user must check and confirm that information is reported by the multiple sources or like the who posted the news. This is some reference. Thank you.